And now, Chewing the Fat Summer Sport Show with your host, Bevan Jones.
Well, g'day and welcome to another edition of Chewing the Fat. Bevo here with you. Tonight we're down at the Holdfast Hotel. I'm joined by a very special guest. This week it's the Superloop Adelaide 500, and who better talk about it? The man himself, the 2018 Aussie Racing Car Series winner, Joel Heinrich. He's going to be competing this year in the 2019 Dunlop Super 2 Series. Did I get that correctly?
That's it.
Yeah,
That's it.
awesome. Joel, great to have you on, mate. You must be super excited about this year.
Nah, pumped, nervous, sort of everything's been a bit chaosy this early in the year, and it's starting to sink in now. I'm getting keen, and it'll be exciting to see what happens this weekend.
And we spoke about this off air. It's your very first time actually racing on the Adelaide Street Circuit. That must be pretty exciting for you.
Yeah, no, it's cool. I missed out on the opportunity a couple of years ago when Aussie cars were there. I started just after they'd run there, and I've always been there way back from when it was the Grand Prix. Obviously I don't remember it, but the stories my parents tell me, I was 5 days old, I think it was, to my first Grand Prix, and I've just about been there every year since, but never been on the track, so it's pretty exciting.
And talk to us about your journey becoming a motorsport superstar. Your dad, Bruce Heinrich, was of course a National Saloon Car 5-time winner. So must have been pretty interesting growing up and having all that extra pressure with your dad being such a superstar driver himself.
Yeah, sort of just when I got to sort of 5, 6, 7, he was just starting to get heavily into the saloon car stuff. And then he won 5 national titles within the space of, I think it was 7 years. So he was pretty impressive at his game, and everything else he's jumped in, he's always been fast in. So as everyone said when I was growing up and getting into cars, I got pretty big boots to fill. So we're getting there slowly, I think. He's still got a few on me, but hopefully we can catch up one day.
And you got into a bit of mischief, I heard, as well with go-karts back in the day as a young fella. Tell us all about that, Joel.
Yeah, I started dirt karts when I was 10, so getting nice and dirty. I still race dirt karts now. It's a bit of fun on the side. It's just the people that race are awesome. It's amazing fun. You're sideways, you get dirty, you're fast. There can be massive crashes, but it's all fun and games. And just a lot of people that I've met along the way have assisted me getting to where I am now. It's as well as fun, it's been helpful. And
did you get in a bit of trouble when you were younger, perhaps with the police as well? Maybe racing go-karts?
No. Okay, there was one instance. I had a little Briggs and Stratton on a homemade frame. I sort of used to drive down the end of the street at my old man's workshop up at Lonsdale. There's a paddock there. Used to go and fang around a little bit. And one day I'd stopped, and then these sort of police rolled up, and I've just packed it and wheeled it into a bush and jumped in the bush. Called the parents at work and told them I was like, the police are here, what do I do? And they just laughed and hung up on me. So I sat there for about 5 minutes and then just took off back up the road into the workshop. So lucky I didn't get caught, but it was definitely an interesting time.
And your dad was obviously pretty understanding, being a big motorsport fan himself.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Oh, that's a great story. Now, one question I've got to ask you, mate, those cars must be so hot, and this week it's going to be, late 30s, even 40s. How the heck do you stay cool in those cars?
Yeah, well, I went up to Queensland early last week and did a couple of test days with the team, and it was 35 and 37 on each day. Now, usually you'll wear a cool suit, so I'm pretty sure it's water-based and it's cooled by dry ice. So it circulates through and keeps your core temperature down. And they wouldn't let me use it on the day. It's like a bit of a conditioning thing to get used to in case it's hot at Adelaide. And sure enough, the forecast come out and it's 40 odd, so it'll be well above 50, up to 60 in the car, I think. So you get out of the car in a 40-degree day and it feels like there's air conditioning on the outside.
Yeah, what do they do? Because I must admit, I've been actually inside one of those costumes as a mascot a couple of times and just about passed out. I know that's nothing like being in a supercar, but what do they actually do? Do they give you plenty of water and Powerades and things to rehydrate you? Or?
Yeah, obviously it's about hydrating before you get in the car. And then you've got a drink bottle in the car, so during the race you can use that hydration, cool yourself down. A lot of people spray it on their face and sort of down their chest and stuff just to keep them cool, and just about hydrating before you get in the car and then rehydrating when you get out of the car.
Okay, interesting. Now the cars themselves, you've been obviously involved with Speedway as you mentioned. Now you're going to be sort of going over to the Dunlop Super 2 Series. How do you sort of transfer from being in a supercar from a speedway situation into a supercar and being on the street circuit?
Yeah, I've been involved with all of it, so from when I was younger. Like I said, started in dirt karts, still a little bitumen kart stuff there for a little while. You just learn to transition across, and it's sort of something I've done always. There's always been one and the other. I haven't done a stint in one then a stint in the other. I've always concentrated on doing the circuit stuff throughout the year. Get to the end of the season, then it's speedway time. So it takes like maybe a race or so to adjust back, but it's once you've done it for a while, it sort of just clicks and it comes back.
Makes sense, yeah. And we spoke about this off air as well, because there's not a lot of money in supercars unless you become an absolute superstar, and we've spoken about before. So what do you actually do as a full-time thing as well as being a driver, Joel?
Day to day, 9 to 5 job. I'm a mechanic, so I'm hands-on, getting dirty. Yeah, loving it.
So at least you've got that relation and stuff like that, so with the cars as well. And you mentioned before your partner's dad is the boss, so he's pretty understanding about you taking all the phone calls and doing all the extra driving around the place?
Yes, no, they're youngest lads racing Porsche, and they've been there, done it over the last couple of years, so they know exactly what's involved. And super grateful how they've sort of just let me do my thing the last week or so. I've been on the phone constantly, emails, disappearing for an hour here, an hour there. So I appreciate that they've been able to sort of just let me do my own thing. Next week, when it's all over, it'll be back to business, and they'll be on my case.
Oh, fair enough. Well, before I let you go, I've just got one more question to ask you. It's from Jason Castleman. So shout out to Jason, Tony Hardy, who's given me lots of information about yourself, Joel, which has been very helpful. They've actually wanted to know about the Yamaha bike engine in the Aussie racing cars. Tell us about that.
That's a question I get asked every time I race the car.
Oh, right.
They're out of an XJ 1200, the Yamaha engine. Aussie cars have imported a barrel from America because there's a class over in America that uses the same engine. It's a water-cooled barrel, and obviously they've got bigger balls, bigger pistons, and it ups the CC to 1350. Super reliable engine, 9 times out of 10 unless you abuse it. The gearbox would be the weakest link, but they make plenty of power and they weigh not much, so they're a ball of fun.
Sounds really good, yeah. Well, Joel Heinrich, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on Chewing the Fat. Thanks to the Holdfast Hotel as well, and to Terry May for filming for us. It's been a pleasure having you on. All the best for the big race this week, mate. It's going to be super exciting having a South Australian lad racing in the Dunlop Super 2 Series. So, Joel Heinrich, all the best, mate.
Thank you, pumped.
Thank you. Take care and bye for now. And a big shout out to the Holdfast Hotel, Jeff Owens and the crew for letting us film down here tonight. It's been great fun. Look forward to tomorrow night when we catch up with Todd Hazelwood, a supercars driver who's up and coming, so very excited about that. Have a great night, everyone. Take care and bye for now.
Supposed to get on and get my hands dirty.
Yeah. Champion, mate. Thank you. Yeah, all the best. Joined at the... stuff up. Winner of the 2018 Aussie Supercar Series.
Aussie Racing Car Series.
Aussie